Super Eagles.
Yeah.
I think it's Super Eagles.
Super Eagles.
Let's talk about Group L. I mean, this was meant to be a week of Nigeria, like the likes of Senegal, Algeria, Cameroon, Morocco, Tunisia, and Mali. Obviously, Cameroon is host.
Yeah.
But these are the countries that I've just mentioned that have sealed their qualification. I mean, you lead 4-0. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
And you look on paper, you look at this Nigerian team, and they are hammering. I expected them to win, but leading 4-0. And then the collapse.
No, Mr. Ville. It's just simple. These boys, they took that game for granted. But let me just elaborate, inside 35 minutes, 31 minutes of the game, you score 4 goals.
You're 29, actually.
Yeah, so it doesn't mean that you have already won the game, because there's a lot of things that will happen in 90 minutes.
They are professional.
Yeah.
They are well placed to know.
But that game is not not acceptable for them to be winning. In the history of Nigerian football, I don't know when that happened.
To be leading 4-0.
To be leading 4-0.
Yes.
And not to undermine Sierra Leone. If you're playing against the likes of Senegal, Algeria, they come back 4-4. You can say, okay, you can accept that. But with the quality Nigeria having that night, that evening.
You are still saying quality.
So no, the quality.
You are still
there's a lot of quality. No, there's a lot of quality.
Presume the quality.
There's a lot of quality.
Can you be clear?
But I just feel like there was too much carelessness in terms of from the not the defense. I can't even blame the defense and the goalkeeper. You start from the midfield. The likes of Alex Iwobi coming back to the defense line to try to dribble there, which is not acceptable. But that's where you need the coach, Gennaro, to stand on his feet. If it's 4-2, 4-3, no, you need to say something. Tactically, you need to change. So I just feel 2020 hasn't been good for Gennaro. Not forget, he just signed a 2-year contract.
Yes.
And which
I would love.
for now the Minister of Sports.
No,
wait. Even the Minister of Sports.
Let's let him finish.
Even the Minister of Sports.
Coming to it.
Even the Minister of Sports this morning was saying that we are going to do the needful. There's a lot of rumors going around back home now. Amunike, don't forget, he's in Egypt doing the administrative thing in the club side.
Yes,
he has been spoken to. Here on the ground
so
now.
they want to fire Ginebra?
If they fire him, they're going to pay a lot of money. They're going to pay.
Because
they just signed a recent G now. So,
and I noticed that you've never referred to him as a coach. He's always a technical advisor. in Nigeria, they never had a coach.
So, the issue, the expect, and even Mr. Ahmad Pinich came out, with, he was ranting after the game in the dressing room and saying that, no, we're only going to accept 4-0 in Sierra Leone, in Freetown there. Which, I mean, what are you saying now? You're trying to take yourself out of the problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
And bear in mind, I saw the Minister of Sport.
Yeah.
And I saw
Sunday
himself training with the team.
Can you imagine? The senior, can you just imagine that? Yeah, I mean, they're supposed to train. And don't forget.
Match day -1.
And don't forget.
The most important training session.
Yeah, don't forget, most of the players, the likes of Victor Sonwa, they came in Wednesday, they were doing some adverts. They only train once. The top players that are going to play, okay, notwithstanding, he scored a goal and got injured and went out. But you can have the minister and the FA president training with the team. They have, it's not a friendly game. It's a qualifier game, and you have the minister which is going to make the list in terms of staying on the bench or staying in the stand. If not for him to be the FA president, getting the stand up there. I mean, it's not acceptable, But at the end of the day, I think Nigeria have themselves to blame. They went to Sierra Leone to correct their mistake. But already, with Sierra Leone coming back to play 4-4, playing at home, they have that confidence.
Yeah.
And Nigeria was.
Yeah, but tell me more about. I know you're not going to stop about this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know when it comes to you, I must put the brakes.
Yeah.
You didn't have Akpe on the day.
No. You remember before the qualifiers, there was a friendly games. There was 2 friendly games against Tunisia and against Algeria.
Yes,
so the coach tried to give other keepers chance. Okoye is playing for Holland there, but he has more games playing in the national team than his club side. So for me, for me, I just feel
So
like.
how did he come?
So the coach need to explain.
This is
The-
where I want to step
yeah,
in as well.
yeah.
Because the demise of Nigerian football, Super Eagles' glory, didn't start only today. It starts even when Keshi was there. They got beaten. That was one of the reasons they couldn't qualify for the African Cup of Nations in 2017.
Correct.
Because they were even beaten by Sudan. They were beaten by Congo Brazzaville.
They missed out in 2015.
They were beaten by South Africa in Uyo.
Yeah.
So
First and last time they beat us. That's the African team.
Well,
yeah, but you see, that's because those professionals, because they don't have competition in the club, in the national team. They just you just say now the guy played less in the club than in the national team. But when you have a backbone of local players, those guys will fight to have the.
Thank you, Mr. Jet.
Let me step in. Their number one.
Place, because I've seen it in Egypt. I saw Belmadi, the coach of Algeria.
Samuel Belmadi.
He preferred Bilaili instead of Brahimi.
Yes.
And Brahimi plays we used to play for Porto.
Yes.
But he was on the bench. While Bilahili, who plays in Africa, was on the pitch. Let them compete for the position.
Yes. And he delivered.
And
even with Gennaro, inviting most of the guys, most of the players that are born in Europe there, the likes of Maduka Okoye, the keeper we're talking about, the likes of the right back, of just, his name just.
And it's been outright that he doesn't trust players who play in Nigeria.
Yeah,
he doesn't watch. As a coach,
I was very critical. And I did what
can we speak about?
But you see one thing again.
Jeff, can we speak about the league in Nigeria?
But they haven't started yet. There's no league yet. There's no league yet.
The league is the backbone.
Oh, there's no league yet.
Yeah, there's
It's
no
the
league.
backbone of players.
What is the precedent that you send? What's the message you send to people?
Yeah.
Because I remember 2018, 2018, 18, 19, there were a top goal scorer in the Nigerian league. That was Junior Lokosa.
Yeah.
And yes, 23 goals in 35 games. That boy was not selected to go to the World Cup. How can you leave your best top scorer in the league and not go into the World Cup?
Jeff, that said,
the best Nigerian team.
Because
sorry,
we're talking
team.
about the national team.
The best Nigerian team, 1994.
Yes.
The likes of Elston Eguavon, Uche
Even
Ogochukwu.
90 in Algeria.
Most of the players, were built from the home base. But never withstand this situation now because we are in the new era.
We
now
have to do that. We have to grow players.
No.
That's why I came with Chan. I came with Chan's situation. You guys put me out.
No. Leave your Chan. No, leave your Chan.
Okay, wait.
We are talking about the local
The league
league.
is not on.
Ethiopia.
Okay, wait. Let me.
Don't tell us about the league
Just give
not
me
being on.
1
It's
minute.
not our
1 minute.
problem.
Give 1 minute. The local league is not on in terms of, let me say, the league now. You can start in
Why is it
December
not on?
Because they have to do testing. They have to. A lot of things. So, but now, if you have a chance,
You are very patriotic.
Wait. You know what?
SN1,
We've been discussing Nigeria for 10 minutes.
But it says to you, the last time Nigeria won in South Africa, the African Cup of Nations, there were six local-based players.
Yes.
And it was a local who scored.
Sunday Bar, the man who scored in the final.
Get the locals because those guys, they will wear the jersey.
What is the
The news going around?
Okay,
Let me
let's move.
explain.
No.
I myself,
we move.
myself am a product of a local league.
Yes.
Now, the advantage of a local league, we already know that the so-called professional players feel that they are mandated automatically to be in the national team.
Exactly. That's my
What
point.
do the local players do? They try to make sure that they confuse the coach to play them.
You see,
Now,
you have Uganda.
Wait.
You have Uganda, Nigeria.
No,
Let him
that's how we came to beat you in Nambole. Because we knew we were playing against professional players who don't want to be touched. They think they are fancy. So we come in there, we have a feel of you guys, and then we beat you. It's as simple as that. And then the local player,
professional and Uganda professional.
listen, and the local player.
There's something there.
Listen, the local player, he wants to advertise himself. He's trying to tell everybody, the rest of the world, can you see my potential?
So why don't you
I
bring
want you to
Chan?
know.
Why don't you bring
Watch by
Chan?
the world. Okay. We move.
But
No.
Just one
We move.
Salisu, the assistant coach.
No. Wait.
Just one
Okay, let's switch off his.
But the players are missing Salisu.
The producer should play his prediction before the CRO
And you see, these are some of the things that we've been talking about. For as long as we have FA presidents who believe that the growth of African football is only when we look at the national teams.
Yeah.
And also talking about bringing all these players who grew up in Europe.
Yeah.
And not making sure that we make our in fact, our leagues stronger.
And Chan.
No,
And-
Chan is
Bring
not
Chan.
every year.
And,
It's not
2 years,
and
every
we
2 years.
No.
we must talk
When
about
you have AFCON, you can't talk
building
about Chan.
African leagues. Make African leagues stronger.
Yeah.
And
Make them stronger.
stronger.
Yeah,
Yes.
true.
You know, and make sure that they are commercially viable, and then we will see the growth of our football.
Absolutely.
Because these players that we're talking about are based in Europe, they don't make their money here.
No.
You know? So these are some of the things we have to talk about. But we move. we move. In South Africa, we slept on Monday night very
No.
And-
6
and-
points in the bag against Sao Tome and Principe. Wait. Yes.
Until that result from Khartoum.
And then the result from Khartoum. Oh my word. Because I could see people saying, no, we just need a point. We just need a point. But you know what? I watched that game. And it was one of the most frustrating games for me because I could see that it was just a matter of when Sudan would score. But at the time when they scored, I never expected them to score because they had been missing sitter after sitter.
Yeah, but I don't know why people are saying that South Sudan cannot play football. Like that.
No, Sudan.
Sudan,
yes.
Sudan can play very well at football.
Yes.
Remember, they've got the two biggest clubs in the
Yes,
country.
Al Hilal and
Al Hilal
and
and
Merrick,
Merrick. So those clubs, they reach the finals of CAF competitions.
It is the local league.
And it is the local league. Local
league.
league, yeah. And when they play, they're not ashamed of you. They will go there and give out everything that they have. But when it comes to South Africa, and I was very critical against people, I was actually arguing with people why they say that no, South Africa, but Sao Tome and Principe was a small fish. It's not a small fish because they didn't qualify through preliminaries to reach the group stage.
Correct.
If South Africa has beaten them twice, they are the one who chose to play in South Africa. South Africa didn't tell them that no, play the return leg in South
Take it
Africa.
somewhere else.
No, that was the FA.
No.
But
Ask the
But we are
FA.
saying the advantage was too much. for
Who's
South
the
Africa.
advantage?
Whose advantage?
It's
South Africa.
it's their
Did
decision.
you watch the second game?
I watched the second game.
And Sao Tome,
Did you see them having
chances-
moments that they were dominating?
These chances South Africa missed could have been 8. I watched the second
But
game.
they also had chances.
How many chances they have? It was just
Sao
two.
Tome.
It was just three chances. They scored 2, and that's all.
no, it
They wasn't passing the halfway line. They didn't even have. Sorry to say, they didn't even have a
Can
keeper.
I ask you a
The
question?
keeper-
Can I ask you a question? Do you remember the game between Sao Tome and Ghana in Sao Tome?
The one the Ghana lost. Ghana
1-0.
won 1-0
1-0.
And how did Ghana score?
through penalty.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. Ghana were complaining that if South Africa play, South Tome playing in their home, they could have been difficult. game.
No. Let Ghana speak to Sao Tome.
We
and
see
also
in
host
March-
their
March-
game in
March
Ghana.
next year.
Yes.
When Ghana is coming to play South Africa, that's where we differentiate from the boys from the men. That's where we know, the real South African team. We're waiting for March.
No, but when you play in the qualifiers, you cannot win all the games. You cannot lose all the games. They can lose against Ghana, but it doesn't mean that South Africa team is not good.
No, we said they're good. We're just saying that this time they have
For me,
most advantage. The advantage was too
South
much.
Africa is left with Ghana
in the
here at home,
and Sudan.
and then Sudan.
Sudan.
and Khartoum.
In
Tough
Khartoum.
game.
So for me,
I will tell you, the last time we went to Khartoum, I was there in that threat.
it was Sheikh Mashaba as the
Yeah.
coach.
Underman.
It was Sheikh Mashaba as the coach.
Yes.
It was 2-1.
No, not 2-1. 2-1 was here at home. It was 3-0 there.
3-0.
Yeah, that was Sheikh Mashaba's first game.
One thing I know about Sudan, the fans appreciate good football.
Oh yes.
Correct.
If a visiting
But
team
they are
goes
not
to
in
Sudan,
the-
if
well,
a visiting
they
team
don't
goes to Sudan and they play well, the fans of Sudan will turn and support the visiting team. That has been traditional.
And South Africa, they do play away games.
There's no,
Away games,
there's no
very
problem about that. What is important now is that the group is open. We have got some good football to look up to. So it's very important to make sure that Ghana can maximize, or Bafana can make sure they use home advantage. Battle the game here in Johannesburg, and then when they go to Sudan, they know you're already 1 foot in the finals. So that's very important. Managing, but to take the words of Zungu, he reminded the fans saying, when we lose, you are complaining. When we win, you are complaining.
No,
What do you want?
He wasn't going into that.
What did you make of it?
No, I just think it's unnecessary for him to go into this. Fans, they have the right to say what they want to say, because some of the fans, it's even easier here in South Africa. If you go to Nigeria, okay, some of the teams, like if say Uganda, they draw 4-4, they will be happy. But Nigeria, we're not happy. We're not happy. We complain. Even the win, you heard the FA president say that we don't want you to win 1-0.
So you're having a sports minister.
So, like fans, they have the right to to say what they want to say. You, as a player, you don't need to say anything. Just play your game. And he came on. We are the ones saying that he needs to come to the team because he's gonna add value. You can see his game have improved a lot from where he's playing now from Rangers, playing under Steven Gerrard. I think Zungu is a different player, and this qualifier really proved that for players to go to
March,
versus.
he will even
So
be much
for me,
better.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
there's one important element that is very important, especially we need to try and put on those boots as footballers.
Yeah.
It's very important for fans to support their local team, their national teams,
Yeah.
whether they are losing or winning. It's very
But
paramount.
one thing you must
They
know
should
too-
rally behind the team. Yes, they should voice their
Yeah.
concern, but it's very important to support the players.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you are part and parcel of that national team.
Yeah,
True.
Jeff, this is where I'm very much interested. Having been here in South Africa for some time, do you sometimes get the feeling that maybe locally, maybe the majority of the people don't really understand? And from what he's saying, in Uganda, in Nigeria, and in DRC, and you are not like us here in South Africa, where for a very long time we were outside international football. And you find that sometimes one of the comments that I was looking at, people, they comment based on their allegiances to Sundowns, to Kaizer Chiefs, to Orlando Pirates. So you find that there appears to be a strong element of immaturity when it comes to international football and how to react to international football.
In terms of support of the national team?
Yes.
Yeah, in terms of support of the national team, I've been in South Africa for quite a very long time. But South Africa did lack the national team. I remember before AFCON 96,
Correct.
the way I was happy to go to the stadium most of the time, every time Bafana was playing. But even in Congo, fish, I know that local players in Congo, they were named after fish. Mungongo fish, Kabedi John Musu.
Yes.
Just because you didn't, South African leaders, football leaders and authorities didn't entertain that kind of, because we lost that.
We lost that
Yes.
after the 96.
After the 96,
Yes.
we lost
Yes.
that.
Yes.
And there were no continuation of good player being groomed coming up. And there was an academy of excellence, which was
School of Excellence,
a
yes.
School of Excellence. It
Yes.
was also a very good project because it produced the like of Pina, McCarthy. Should have continued with that.
Yes. So you agree with me because now we are bringing another point that I feel very strongly about, that all of you are involved with South African football in one way or another, whether off the field or on the field. That South Africa, for me, as much as yes, there's money, but there doesn't appear to be a technical vision.
The more
in the league or even at SAFA, there
yes,
is
the
not a
more
strong
the money
project.
is being pumped up in the league, in the national team,
Yes.
the quality dwindles.
Yes.
I don't go to the stadium to see a derby anymore.
Yes.
But I was a fan of derby
Yes.
before the season.
I think
The quality is
producer
lacking.
the producer should consider making it a very important topic to drive deep into why it's no longer that appealing. Talk about the tactical awareness of the game, the influence of DSTV coming on board, that money being pumped into the league.
For me, it's that now we'll discuss this next time, but we don't invest enough in improving the quality of the game.
The quality of the game. Yes.
The good coaching as well.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
the good coaching.
You know, before, when I came to this country, the owners of the team were using their personal money
Yes.
for the grant.
Yes.
So they used to go all out to look for the
Talent.
best talent
Yes.
to safeguard their investment.
Yes.
Now they get the grant.
Yes.
What do? They sign the 11, they assume they can save this franchise, the rest are for business. And that's why the problem
And they
is.
just want to save the state.
Yeah.
That's why the problem is.
Sevenly, sometimes again you check some of the teams, most of the teams now is about winning.
Yes.
It's just, and the coaches are under pressure a lot. When a coach comes to a team, you lose 2-3 games, you're out in this PSR. So now you take out the good football away. You say, okay, no.
But
there's no players.
Peterson was winning.
No, for me, there's players. No, there's players. You can't say there's no players.
I'm from this country, but I can tell you that at the top, the real talent is not coming through.
Yeah, it's not coming through. That's why
the scouting has been outsourced to agents.
I even asked Danny one day that why you cannot appoint him, because I knew when I came to this country that Jomo was the best in
talent identification.
No. For talent, there's talent in this.
Yeah,
No.
There's talent. But the best talent, I can tell you.
The question is,
I can take you to places.
Etafia, let me tell you something.
The best talent.
Having
is not
talent,
coming through to the elite
having talent is different from a competitive talent. Having talent, every footballer who kicks the ball is talented. Take nothing away from that.
No, you can see someone that
No.
No.
Let me
There's
tell
people
you.
born to play football, and there's people born not to play football.
Etafia, let me tell you. There's a difference between a competitive player and a player who is just enjoying the game.
Yeah. So
Now, we are looking at a player who gets onto the field of play to win.
Yeah.
And there's a player who is enjoying
Yeah.
because being a footballer.
So which one are you going to sign?
Those are coached.
Which one are you going to sign your team?
No, listen.
So Jeff,
I will sign the legs of thunder.
Those are coached.
Because now you're talking about there was a time when it comes to strikers, you know that at Pirates there was Legs of Thunder, there was Poland Lanya, and they were competing.
You could name them like
Remember Kang and Zenza? They were combining with Punene Ngadwane. They were competing against.
Can you name 5 of those strikers now?
They'll be competing against Wilfred Mugay.
Can you name 5 of those strikers now?
No.
That's why I was saying that. Why you saying that the best, the top goal scorer in the league, when someone banks in 9 goals for the entire league, entire season?
As I move.
Take it over a little bit. Just
Sorry, I have to move. This is not a Southern hour. We move to Group H. I'm very much interested in this one, Jeff, because this is a team that won the AFCON back in 2012.
Yeah.
In Group H, yes, we have to say,
Algeria.
let's clap hands.
Yeah. Algeria.
22 games unbeaten. 22 or 23 games. 22 games unbeaten.
Yeah.
Jamel Belmadi, an African, we salute him.
Yeah.
We salute him. But in the same group, this is a team that has missed the last 2 AFCONs. And now it looks like they could be missing. Because in the next game, they are hosting Algeria. And then in the last game, they have to go to Zimbabwe. It's sad what is happening.
It's very sad because, after that generation, they were the under-20 who went to the World Cup.
Yes.
And they played very well. They were the champions of Africa. Yes. They were African, that category champion. And they should have helped those youngsters to graduate
The transition
to the national team. And they should have left Nyirenda as the national coach. They should have removed him to bring that guy from Sweden, I don't know, from Norway, to come and replace him.
Well, he resigned. When they resigned, he want to go coach club
No. He was pushed out. He was pushed out.
You resign, you push out.
He was pushed out.
He was pushed out. That's why he accepted the offer from
Baroka.
Yeah, he was pushed out. Otherwise, he was very happy.
You see, this is what I'm saying. We need to nurture our own.
When they started the qualifiers for the World Cup 2018 in Russia, they were beaten. They were beaten by Cameroon, Nigeria. Yeah. Nigeria beat them 3-1 in
Super Eagles. Put the Super Eagles. Put the Super Eagles.
Super Eagles. But after that defeat, and then they transformed. They included those youngsters. Yeah. And if that referee from Botswana didn't disallow the goal in Uyo, Zambia was going to go to the World Cup.
But it was offside.
Oh, no, it was offside.
When you're offside, you're offside.
No, it wasn't offside.
There's
was.
no VAR, there's nothing. When you were offside, you're offside. He was sleeping there. They can't give him blanket.
I want
no,
to
it's
speak about
offside, it's
sports
offside.
now.
It's offside.
Now, Bondo, that name sticks in my mind. Bondo.
I know what happened. I know what happened.
Bondo
in
from
Nigeria.
Botswana, he didn't help the cause of Zambia.
Yeah.
Chupolopolo deserved to go to the World Cup. If that goal did stand, they were going because Nigeria was docked to points.
No, I know what
Yes.
happens in Nigeria. I've suffered the same fate. That I can't testify. It was in Abiyokuta.
Yeah.
You know, scored an equalizer, both linesmen put up the flag for offside. So that's African football.
Yeah.
Both
That's African. Yeah, both linesmen.
Yeah.
African football.
So it's going to be very tough for COSAFA. Obviously, the other sport has been taken by Algeria.
Yeah.
So for COSAFA, because the way Botswana came back, it also means that Zimbabwe has to go to Botswana and then finish at home with Zambia. But I think my money is on Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
That's Zimbabwe taking the second place, unless because now with the hullabaloo within the Zambian FA, we don't know when the election will take place. You know, FIFA has intervened. The FIFA couldn't come because of COVID. You know, delay. People are not putting their mind on the national team, but they're more interested on their own position within the FA. That kills also the game.
Yeah. But I was happy. I was impressed with Zimbabwe against Algeria. You know, Algeria just took the lead 2-0. But the Mahrez goal was one of the classic goals.
They were very relaxed.
That was the best goal.
Belmadi said that they were very relaxed.
So after they scored that 2-0, all of a sudden, the way Zimbabwe came back, I was so proud. More or less they're playing at home.
Zimbabwe is a good team.
To do well.
Yeah.
They're a very good team.
If they can put money there, not leaving them
Yes.
in a hotel where snakes are coming through, they will be able to.
As we move to Group G, I mean, I was very impressed with the business approach of Egypt. You know when you see quality, at some stage, the way I've been seeing the Pharaohs in the past 2 years, there's been a team that is so much reliant on. They're too much reliant on Mo Salah, But in these two games, you could see the quality. Maybe it's also the decline of the Togolese team. The Togolese team, is another team that are relying more on Adebayo, But when you see the big boys like Egypt coming out, getting 6 points, and being more emphatic on the road.
Can we say that Egypt was good or the opponent were very weak?
No, they made the opponents ordinary. So we give it to them. We give it to them.
Because I've seen Egypt for the past 2 years. They are not the Egypt, the Pharaohs that I knew.
Sure.
Because they're more relying, most of all, as you said, more Salah in European. But the backbone used to be Zamalek, Ismailia, and Halali.
Yes.
But we don't see that anymore. I believe that maybe they can adjust, but they did very well against Togo. Even though they can adjust and try to become the powerhouse again in Africa. Because at AFCON, at AFCON, I remember that in South Africa we were only 2 people to believe that South Africa was going to beat Egypt. Nobody believed us. Said, "Are you dreaming?" I said, "South Africa will beat Egypt."
But this is also the group where you've got a team that has not lost to Egypt yet. They beat Togo in Lomé, and we saw them now getting 4 points from a possible 6 against Kenya, Comoros. They come from here in our region, in COSAFA. And when you look at Comoros, you also have to think about the results of Madagascar. There's another team that has been seen as a little team that is
Mauritius.
No. We're talking about South Sudan, but we'll be talking about them. But this is also now where you see that African football is moving away from where if a team is ranked 160th or 190, you think you're just going to run.
No, because that's why I say that the ranking mean nothing to me. Rankings mean nothing to me because I've seen it when Algeria went to the World Cup for the very first time in '82. They beat the West Germany. I mean, I've seen Senegal beating France. I've seen Cameroon beating Argentina. I don't care about the ranking. But when it comes to Comoros, it is a very good thing. That's why I praise COSAFA initiative very well, because the development of COSAFA helps those tiny countries to develop their own football. It's not by magic that Madagascar played in the quarterfinal of an AFCON because of they had a tournament, a regional tournament like COSAFA.
It prepares them.
Yes, prepares them.
And that's
And
why
a
you
very
need
strong-
regional competitions instead of CHAN.
And
Yes.
a very strong
Develop,
and
develop, because,
and a very
because
strong local league.
COSAFA comes in,
And a very
is
strong
every
local
year.
league.
CHAN is not even because CHAN is not there every year, but CHAN cannot exist because it hinders the development of local local football.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. No. Very interesting that. As we move to Group A, there's one thing I watched Nigeria. In fact, I watched our teams, most of our teams in Southern Africa. I even watched Namibia. Mali is a well-oiled machine. I was not surprised that they qualified. But for me, watching Namibia, watching Mozambique, I mean, they even missed a penalty against Cameroon. Watching Lesotho, watching some of... we have to be honest. Yes, COSAFA is the region who are doing something, but there are nations in Southern Africa that are not doing enough.
Yeah, but when
I was looking at the quality of play.
Yes, when you take the case of Namibia spent the entire season without any league. Yeah, but that's very bad for local football. We have to get the momentum going. This is how we develop, we groom players from local front. And every time when we leave our football in the scaffolding, we don't have the prevalence of the quality, in the years to come. And Mozambique was also a good team. Yeah. But after this guy who was playing for Jomo Cosmos here, Tico, after he has left, there's no football in Mozambique anymore. And those are the guys who play.
They used to have stars,
Yes.
But Pelembe now,
And they did go to they qualified for the AFCON.
Yeah.
But you see, with Mali going to, first of all, they went to Namibia to win 2-1 and going back home to win 1.
No, they won at home first, I think.
No, they won in Namibia.
No, they won at home. They won at home.
1-0.
Yes.
And they won in Namibia. But
and they even missed a penalty.
Yeah, but you expect, I mean, for the last 4 years now, Mali have been in the rise, forget about the Senegal and the Algeria. They have done very well, in terms of, the African football. And this is what you expect from other...
But what I'm saying, Greg, is even the quality of play for me. Watching Lesotho, watching Namibia, the quality of play.
Because
at some stage, you don't even know where the next goal is going to come from.
For me, this team, Lesotho team, they have got homegrown players.
Yeah.
Yes, they are vertically challenged, but they are very talented. It's not easy winning a game in Maseru. It's very difficult.
But that's why
very difficult.
I remember the game they played against
But
Nigeria.
now
That game I was there. And
4-2.
Yeah, the 4-2.
No, it was one way.
and
4-2 is
and
one
then-
way.
For
There's
me,
no
it was one way.
What they do, one way, 4.
For
Did
me,
you
what
watch
is
We give people
important-
4-4.
Did you watch the
It's
game?
only Sierra Leone that
Did you
tried to
watch the
come
game?
back. I watched
For
the
me,
game.
what is important was the choice of the FA to appoint, the coach.
Yeah.
And,
Yes.
a coach who has got that experience, working
Thabo
with the
Snow.
youth.
Yeah.
So he's very good with the youth, and
Yeah.
you can see the structure. So there's that transformation in that team. If they can keep him longer, Lesotho will be very deadly. For so
but
many
you see,
things.
in Namibia did qualify. They did play, though they were eliminated.
In the
At the
AFCON.
2008, even the last
AFCON,
AFCON they were
yeah.
there. But for the last AFCON, I was not happy for the president to be there because they lost by 5-2 and they still qualified to go to the
That's why they
final.
prepare- that's
This
why-
is your idea of 24 weeks penalty. You see,
Namibia,
who are qualified to go
Uganda,
there?
Namibia, all those, they need to be there.
But now the Namibian government should help us with football.
Yes.
Allow investing because to invest, to be a businessman in Namibia is very, very difficult. They have to to ease the laws.
Legislation,
Yes, to get the investor come in and be the sponsors of, put the money in the football.
Yeah.
There is this initiative which is absolutely worldwide, which is called social responsibility of
CSIs.
of all the companies that are. They have to give them a mandate to put money into sport and they get a rebate when they go into claim for tax.
And the other aspect too, the locally can be strong, in terms of if they can, try to make sure the local league is strong. But the main priority for me is for players to go overseas. You can see.
No.
You have to get for a country to be fair.
Okay.
For a country.
We talk
about Zungu. We spoke about Zungu.
We have to move to the next
We
group.
spoke about Zungu.
Zungu first performed at Sundown.
Yeah, I went to
It was a
wait. No, after
No, it was-
Sundance.
And then
After
went to
Sundance to France.
Portugal.
No, Portugal.
Yeah.
Portugal to
but
France.
you know what? We don't have
It's a
time.
solid
No, sorry.
Take
sorry.
Lesotho players.
Sorry, we don't
Take
have time.
Namibia players overseas. You're gonna see the quality.
Zungu
No,
was
we don't have
spotted,
time.
spotted
I want
in
to
a
come
very
to
strong league.
Uganda. I want to come to Uganda. We're left with just 5 minutes.
Yep.
Because I can see where you are dragging me. You don't want me to talk about Uganda. In Group B, you have a situation where Burkina Faso is leading the race. You know, African football is very difficult. You see Burkina Faso running away with a game in Ouagadougou, and you think when they go to Blantyre or Lilongwe, Malawi will okay, they'll just succumb even there, and then they come back and they're a different team altogether. But this is a weekend where Uganda was supposed to qualify.
Agree.
Supposed to.
Yeah, they were supposed to qualify.
Yeah.
6 points, but I don't know what happened.
They beat them. What happened? They beat. They were beaten.
Uganda
No. South Sudan
Sudan.
wiped them.
Out of 6 points, we picked 3 points. Now, those who know how Southern football has come, we are very conversant, and we knew exactly which opponent we have got. We have got almost the whole team playing in Uganda.
No, Timothy, that's not an excuse.
It's not an
Team,
excuse.
No.
Wait. It's almost the whole team.
almost-
I thought most of your players moved up north. Some moved to.
No, I'm talking
no,
about I'm talking about Southern Sudan. I'm talking about Southern Sudan.
They're playing locally.
Southern Sudan.
Or South Sudan.
Yeah.
South
South
Sudan.
Sudan
But
players.
even the Ugandan players,
Even
you
the
know,
Ugandan
they were signed in Egypt after the AFCON, and most of them didn't make it. They had to come back home. So to remain active, they are playing in the local league. So
is not still in
no,
Egypt.
it's still in Egypt. So what is happening here? What is happening is we have got the core of Southern Sudan players who are playing in the local league. Most of the teams.
In
Actually,
Uganda.
most of them are born in Uganda. So what is happening is they know and they are competing.
Timothy,
when
that's
you
not
talk
an
about,
excuse.
When you talk about
Timothy,
Tito
that was
Okero,
not an excuse.
Tito Okero was supposed to play for the national team, but he has got ancestry in Southern Sudan. So he chose to play in Southern Sudan
Timothy,
because he could not get an opportunity.
accept the way I accept.
So
They beat you guys.
What is important is we picked 3 points, we lost 3 points, which was not anticipated. We were about even to lose the game in Uganda. Yes, because we won it in the last minute, 90th minute.
Yeah.
So I think that was a wrong mentality going into Nairobi for the second leg. I think the preparations were not right, the mindset wasn't right, but we should give credit to Southern Sudan.
So
they
you
are
think
doing
that
something
You
right.
might not qualify.
So you think that you should have also used the international week before for friendlies rather than just.
No, they went for holiday. They went for holiday.
Look, when you lose, you always look back and say we shouldn't have done that. But the core of the point of going to Dubai was to try to get that bonding. You know, we had
What are you bonding?
You're having a new coach.
Prepare for a proper game. You want to bond. What are you bonding for?
No, you have got a new coach.
No. You might not qualify in that group.
No.
That's why we need 24 teams to qualify.
I love it. I love
The
it when you
country
say,
likes
when you
like
say you
Uganda.
may not qualify. When you
Wait.
when you draw for
No.
scenario, I don't think you have got it right.
Is this the reason why your FA president Magogo is looking at taking the route of politics?
No, the aspiration is to try to see how we can improve legislation to try and improve sports. And so he so desire that if he's in the parliament, then his voice will be heard by the
So that's the reason
by
why.
government.
That's
But
the reason why he's
that's
not going back to CAF.
That's not reason enough, because what is happening is if you have got the structures, you don't need always to be there. If the structures are functioning, the FA is functioning, that's good enough.
Yeah.
So what is important right now is to make sure that we qualify. For me, I still insist,
You're going to
it's
qualify.
the responsibility of the government to make sure that the infrastructure is put in place. The FA will not have all the resources to set up the infrastructure.
Yes,
Administratively, he's doing a great job compared to where we are coming from. He has qualified after 39 years. We have qualified twice consecutively. So for me, we're on the right track.
because
There's nothing to complain
That's
about.
why that's why open space for 24.
Just before we close, we've spoken about the Super Eagles.
Yeah, big Super Eagles.
I want before we close, I was very impressed with the second game of the Leopards. But the DRC, I don't know, maybe because when you go to Kinshasa, you get scared with the crowds. Do you think you were missing the crowds in that game?
No, we've not. Since AFCON last year, we don't perform very well. Though we don't.
What's the problem?
The problem is some of the players in Europe they don't want to come. We have to beg them to come. Before they can even board the bus, they want the money to be paid because every time they play it's 10,000 US. So they want
10,000 US.
Yes.
For each player.
You should pay.
Sure. Yes.
Win or lose.
You should pay.
No. Yes, by call. Every time he's called, they just give him 10,000. Yes.
Paying, they should pay. They should pay the players. That's the national team. Ministers doing useless things.
Yes, I know that.
Players should be paid.
They should be paid, but they should also produce.
That's a
They
fact.
should deliver.
Yes.
This is what we want from them because they get a lot of money. And already in Europe where they play, they get jackpot every week. And why they coming back and asking for a lot of money? And they do pay you.
I think they have a chance, in that group because
chance they do have, but it's not DRC that we knew. That we know.
You are going through transition. You are going through transition.
And Gabon,
but the same.
Angola, we expect Angola to be on
transition
top,
because
but
we
they
still
still have
use
1
the
point.
very same players. These are very same players that we still use. And this guy, Kebano, who scored the lone goal at the Citadella, he's bench. He warms bench at Fulham. He's not even in the.
That's why.
But
That's how good he is. When it comes he's good enough to score.
Yeah, the enemy will always be the time. The enemy will always be the time. But when we come back next week, I want us to touch on this point because this is a very important point. This one, I've just heard you talking about the bonuses. Here in South Africa, there's talk that SAFA wants to abolish bonuses.
You will not qualify.
There's
Players have to be paid.
They have to be paid.
Yeah,
They are ambassadors.
Exactly.
Our political ambassadors are paid everywhere, every week, and they have a lot of advantages.
And they are traveling with mistresses and everything like that. Getting per diem.
and they'll pay
With the payment of the players, it has to be
for
done.
attending meetings.
But
they don't want to pay
No,
players.
bonus is not. You can't negotiate that one. That one.
that one is paid. You should be paid.
First of all, you're coming to represent your country.
Yeah, you are an ambassador.
And you're an ambassador to the. So you have to. The other
Yes.
they can negotiate if they want to reduce it or if they want to make it high. Because if you want to qualify for a big tournament,
because for a win, last time I checked, it was 60,000 rands, and then for a draw, around 30,000 rands.
They should not tamper.
And now you're telling me,
but they're not getting much now.
10,000 USD.
What about
But
Super
they're
Eagles?
They're not getting. Super Eagles on another level, but they're not winning. You cannot blame Safa.
Which
because
level?
They're not winning. Just the 2 games they just won now, so it's fine.
No, you must count the third game.
Which one?
The Sudan game. Remember? No. You know what?
Let me tell you.
Molefe Ntseki has played against Ghana. Or in fact, he has played against Mali. He won against Mali. He lost to Ghana.
The friendly games.
Friendly
The
games.
friendly games you're talking about.
He won against Sudan. And then he
No,
drew
you're
against
talking
Namibia.
But Namibia and Zambia were
You forget Zambia.
Friendly games.
Zambia,
And
what
then
happened with
he won
Zambia?
those 2 matches. So
He's doing well.
Don't portray. Yes.
Ve-
Don't
No,
portray him.
No, he's doing well.
He's got 7 points from a possible 9.
No, him is doing well for where he's coming from. I mean, he's been assistant and been in the environment. He has done well,
Yeah.
I'm just saying that.
No.
They haven't won a lot that
No,
we talk about the
is-
bonus.
is-
They must
is-
just
is-
make sure they win
No.
many games.
Why they say they don't want to pay bonus to players?
They shouldn't.
I
They shouldn't go
think-
there.
I think they are looking at ways of cutting their costs.
No.
But
no.
it's
this
they're
is-
doing this in a.
I'm
in a
sorry.
very-
they shouldn't
to say
go
that
there.
This is a very stupid thought.
No, it is. It is
No,
a very
it
stupid
is.
thought. In fact, this is where you see sometimes that sometimes in the running of the game, you need people who've been at that level. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true.
No. Otherwise, you're going to lose the dressing
The
room.
boys are taking risk to be. He can break his leg at
Exactly.
the end of the.
Like
end of
we
the
have
career.
Aubameyang coming to sleep at the airport
it is
in
simple.
in Gambia there.
It is simple.
And you go back, you don't pay
a
him.
player is leaving a fat check at his club to travel so many
Taking a
hours
risk.
to come here.
Yes.
Example,
He
Aubameyang.
has to look after the family and everything like that.
Yes.
It is Unbelievable, inconceivable
know
that
how can-
somebody
No,
is
sometimes
coming up with such an idea.
They
They
say
shouldn't
more
go
about the
there.
people running the game.
Yeah,
and
people.
how
No,
they
they-
think
they-
Around
Yeah.
the table.
They
and
shouldn't
decide
go
that
there.
we
No,
should the ball
that's you can't negotiate. Those ones
No,
you
no,
have to.
they-
It's a
it's not
standard.
negotiable.
If they want to pick a leaf from anywhere, they should go and study what Sundowns is doing. Once they get to know what is happening at Sundowns and why the
Even
results
the
are
TP
following
Mazembe,
Sundowns,
TP
That's
Then
why. That's why we
they
want
can
Musepe
understand
to
that.
come to be CAF president.
You know,
You know,
that's,
you know,
you know,
when you win a CAF game, it's 5,000 euros, US dollars.
you know,
That was there. Now up to now. Or?
No, until they lost against Casablanca.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't get that. But when they win, 5,000 US dollars.
bonuses is the order
Very
of the day at Sundowns.
Yes.
But you saw, this is one thing I also learned when I was in Tanzania, that the bonus for winning at the Kariako Derby cannot be compared to just any bonus.
no,
Yeah.
that is a special bonus.
That is a special bonus.
That's special bonus.
And now football and bonuses can never be underestimated.
Yeah.
Never.
Otherwise, this is a point that we'll be starting on next week. I thank you, Tim. I thank you, Brajev.
Thank you.
And
Thank you, sir.
also my super egosi here.
Thank you, Mr. Ville.
Tavia.
The midfield was strong today. Yeah, the midfield was. There was a lot of passes.
You know, congratulations are in order for Elasto Kapoeza. Tomorrow is graduating, getting his master's in football administration.
Yeah,
so
wow.
it's very important to put that out there.
You can tell with the operations in that Swallows team.
Yeah. You can.
You don't see him. You don't see him often. You don't see him on the TV screen. But the sound administration, I met him in one of the days just a few hours before the game, but everything was there intact for the game.
Yeah.
And we're not saying because he sits on this seat and
No, he's one of our
us,
own.
you know,
one of our own,
but you
actually.
can tell. You can tell.
Yeah.
Yes, I know that the chairman David Mokhashwa is always there tweeting, you know, but you know what? You can tell. And we say congratulations to the big man. You owe us a bribe, Makelwane. He's my neighbor, by the way. But yeah, also saying thank you to Dylan Musetla and also Zamugutle Sindane, some of the guys who've also been with us here, and all the guys who've been watching This is African Football. We'll be back again next week. And remember, this will just be on the eve of the CAF Champions League final, where a son of the soil, Pitso Mosimane, will also be involved in that gigantic game between Al Ahly, going for record number 9 title, and against Zamalek.